These Jaguars, they're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go. 11B.
Bortles now on first down. Sharp's got it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. These two teams had not one but two memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big, and then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their third AFC Championship game in franchise history. I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing. Tackle made there by Cody Sensabaugh. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Now Bortles. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Mike 39, Lucy.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
11B.
On first down, Bortles. That is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go.
Right back to him on first down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. There he goes right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go play action now. Roethlisberger sliding out of the pocket. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Set. 180.
Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's counter. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They run with counter. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Set. Green 80. Green is good.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Yetidee Westbrook, his intended receiver. And it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On third and long, it's Bortles. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now out come the Steelers. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Like 20.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Bortles to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun down for Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22. Bortles now on first down. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Bortles going to throw. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
11.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third and goal.
Lucy.
Now Bortles. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions. 1:58
to go in this first half of play. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the second quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After 1 quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we've got this. Oh, no, you don't. You got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
4 down. Double bump. Set. Blue 30. Whirl.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now being hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's Connor. And he's got room. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So after the INT, it's Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. And this one is incomplete. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Roethlisberger rolling to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. He misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And an alley to run. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Fournette, and he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Bortles. Incomplete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Safarian Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And that's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
11.
Bortles to throw once more. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And that'll make it third down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Blue 30.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
8. 4 down. Set. Black 20.
Counter. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On second down, Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker.
And look at this, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Anxious moments there on the fake, but they do get just enough to pick up the first down.
Set. White 80. Ready.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Barry Church. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's a give to Fournette. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Spread right, smack. 3 down.
On second down, here's Fournette. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, let's go. Trips left, trips left. Green 80, green 80.
Fournette on the counter. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
A handoff to Fournette, and he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Spread right, 72. Lucy.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars continue to roll. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Just don't want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
What's that?
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Oh, some strong running. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, boys, got 4 down.
The pitch to Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Jags, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.